There are silent killers in Florida, and you will never hear these creatures unless they're communicating with each other. So let's hit the trail and see if we can find them. These animals only live in certain environments, so let's call Eli and see what he says about where we can find them.
Thanks so much, Luke. These creatures prefer pine forests, just like the one you're in. Eli, signing off for now.
So now we know where to look, and we're actually in a pine forest, which is perfect for these animals. So let's continue on our trail. I'm actually standing where there have been many reported sightings of these silent killers. They have razor sharp talons, a razor sharp beak, and they have horns on the top of their heads. And every encounter is deadly if you're an animal of this size. Now, can you guess what the animal is? Here's a hint. Now, if you guessed great horned owl, you would be correct. These are the great horned owls, and they are the silent killers of Florida. These guys have a wingspan about 39 inches and are about 24 inches tall. That's about as big as they can get. They also weigh between 32 and 88 ounces. That means that these guys weigh less than a gallon of water. Some distinguishing factors is that these guys have a white patch around their throats and are usually colored to match their environment. So these guys are actually kind of a brown-gray color to match these pine trees that they're hunting in. But that actually can change regionally based on where these guys are found. So great horned owls actually have the most diverse diet of any other North American raptor. The prey ranges in size from rats all the way up to larger mammals and sometimes even other birds like geese and waterfowl. They actually sometimes eat reptiles and even some insect species. Now these guys are usually nocturnal, which is why you see them up in the tree like that. Right at sunset, these owls start to get ready for their daily hunt. But sometimes owls actually hunt during the day. They've actually been seen to stalk their prey on their 2 feet, just walking on the ground. Great horned owls are actually found all across America, from woodlands, swamps, and especially in these pine forests. In desert environments, they use cliffs and sometimes juniper as their nest material. But here in Florida, they usually use these pine forests as their nest. And a lot of times people actually put nest boxes like old milk crates. They'll put them in the trees and the owls will use them for their nests. Now owls actually sometimes use other birds' nests as their own, so they'll repurpose them for their own use. And then sometimes they actually live inside of the trees like raccoons do. Now once a pair is mated, they will stick together for life, and they'll actually have a territory that they guard with their lives. They will attack other birds and other mammals to get them out of there so that they can have their own nests. Great horned owls actually respond to intruders and other threats with bill clapping, hisses, screams, and guttural noises. Eventually, they spread their wings and strike with their feet if the threat escalates. And sometimes they actually kill other species of birds if they're threatening their nests, like crows, ravens, and other birds like that. So they'll lay their eggs, and they'll have about 1 to 4 eggs, and they'll incubate those for about a month to almost 40 days, and then those birds will be ready and fledged. Luckily for these birds, they actually adapt well to habitat destruction. As long as there's nesting sites, these birds will do totally fine in the future. But we want to continue to protect these environments so that these birds don't have to be encroached upon by humans. They estimate that the global breeding population is about 5.7 million. That means that these birds are doing well and they should have a healthy response to the future. They're actually the tertiary consumers, which means they are the top of the predator tree in this environment. That means for animals like squirrels, rabbits, or reptiles, these guys are the enemy of them. In the wild, these guys only live about 13 years, but in captivity, some have lived over 30 years. One interesting fact is that Native American tribes have actually used these owls as a symbol of strength, courage, and never back down, never give up. Never back down, never what? Many warrior-based tribes of Native Americans admired the great horned owls for their strength, courage, and beauty, so these guys were actually used as a symbol. Now these guys are protected under the Migratory Bird Act, so even though they don't migrate, they're still a protected species. The reason these guys are called the silent killers of Florida is because of their wings. Now their feathers are actually specially designed to dampen the sound when they're flying, so things like rats, mice, and other things can't hear them, and even I can't hear them when they're flying. We hope you learn more about Florida's silent killer, the great horned owl. If you would like to learn more about Florida's other species, click right here on this video. And remember to get out and get wild.